Shout out to Angela for way to avoid that question like a politician. Shout out to
What?
you.
That's what I'm saying. Like she gave her response was like, I'm listening to what she's saying, and she basically started off by trying to say that a woman needs to let a man know how to be a man. I think men know what it is to
What?
be a man. That's what I got from it. That's what I got
Okay, I'm
from it.
listening. I'm listening.
That's
I'm
what I got
listening.
from it.
Trying to
And
figure out where. Like, I'm listening.
No. Can I clarify?
Yeah,
go
go.
ahead.
Please
I'll let
do.
you clarify. I'll let you clarify first before I give my position
No.
because that's just how it came off.
Position.
God damn.
Well, no. She answered the question or she gave her perspective. And what I got from it, from a man's perspective, is she's basically saying a woman, this is what, like I said, this is what I got from it. A woman needs to tell a man what he needs to do to feel like he is a man. And I don't understand that. And I had the same experience with my mother growing
Don't
up.
belt that. No, she didn't answer that question at all, brother. She
No,
didn't.
she didn't, but she tried to position it slickly to say men don't really understand what it is they need to do. They're told to be a provider, but they don't know what type of provider. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like she was basically saying women need to let men know how they're needed
All right.
necessarily, which is true to a sense, but you know.
From my perspective, I feel like they do still feel needed. In a workplace, for example, it's different areas than just a relationship to me and for me, but in a workspace, it's kind of like we kind of expect men to do the more heavier roles if it's something that we can't do or we can't carry, we can't lift. It's kind of out of our capacity. It's kind of expected. Now for me, once I see that you're not taking the initiative or you're just not going to do it, I don't mind doing it, but for me, even in a relationship, it's like I allow you the space, to be a man. I allow you that space to, feel needed. I show you, that I need you, that, like what I expect from you. But for me as a woman, it's like once I don't feel safe anymore, it's like then at that point, it's like, okay, it's kind of like, what are we doing here? Things do change for me as a woman, like it does change. It's like things were good, like everything was okay until I did not feel safe anymore, like until that, till you drop the ball in that area, and then it's just like, okay, now here we are, if you can't show up for me, then what are we doing, so and I feel like a lot of women today, that is where we are, kind of with it. I don't know if it's, well, I'm sure it's a boundary thing or, those negotiables and non-negotiables, but I feel like, a lot of men have dropped the ball, us women too. But, in answering this question, I do feel like the standards have changed and times have changed, sort of what Angela was saying. And a lot of women these days are expecting, for men to raise the bar, and it's just not happening. And not all men, but a lot of men.
So Kiara, is that your name? Kiara, is that your name?
Here.
I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
So could you give me an example of a man in that situation what you just talked about, not making you feel safe?
Okay, so I had an instance. Now, this is my personal perspective. I had an instance where um I am in Atlanta. I'm in Georgia. And so we frequently do not get snow. So we did have this past winter, we did get snow. We got, a lot of snow actually, if you guys heard about it. But I was dating somebody, and I ended up getting stuck in the snow to the point I could not drive my car, right? I was sliding off the road. And so it was like to the point the ice had froze so bad that I couldn't even drive anymore, right? So I had slid off the road into a ditch. And so the person that I was dating at that time, I called him the first thing for me, it was when I first called you and told you what was going on. People were like, it was men already out there pushing my car. And again, men showed up, like I said, right? So it was men already out there. So my first instance kind of wasn't to like, you need to be on your way, you know, because men were already out there pushing me. But why didn't you, why wasn't that the first thing that came out your mouth, right? So I didn't even trip, you know, on that instance, right? I just was like, okay, well, they already kind of handling it. He was like, okay, well, let me know what happened. And for me, it's just like, what? For me, even as a woman, if you were calling me saying I'm on my way, regardless, if I can't push whatever, I'm on my way for you, you know, as my partner. So that was something that did not first come out his mouth, right? So then once they pushed me out the ditch, I got stuck again. Car slipped off the road again, right? So now I'm getting frustrated because I feel like you should already have been on your way, sir. Why is that not clicking to you, right? So called him again, and he was like, he was at the gym, this, and that. So I'm like, okay, because he can kind of hear it in my voice, you know, like, what's up? So he ended up was like, okay, like, so what they saying? Like, you don't think, what are they saying? These men ain't even here no more. I'm in another ditch, right? So then he finally, so I'm like, to the point where I'm like, no, you need to come on. Like, you need to leave the gym. You need to be on your way. So he ended up coming, right? Had a big truck for F-150, 4-wheel drive. And the people were saying, like, if he's coming out here, he needs to have a 4-wheel drive. He has that, right? So he gets there, manages to get me out of the ditch. But when he got there, I had already told him, look, just take me home. And on top of that, my daughter, I have a toddler, 4-year-old, she was in the back. So I said, just take us home. Just get us home, right? So he was saying all of this about your car. You don't need to leave your car. Somebody may steal your car. What are you? It's a car, sir. What are we talking about? Get me and my child out of here, right? So here I am trying to let the man lead. I allow him to help get me out of the ditch and back onto the road. So now I'm going to drive home. This man did not follow me home. He got me out of the ditch, right? I gets back on the road, gets stuck again. He's already going about his way. Now, I ended up the help, the police wouldn't even come. Nobody was coming out. It was so bad, right? I literally slept in my car with my daughter to the next morning when help was available to come. He blew me up the entire night, right? Now he's mad at me the next day. You know, I when I finally talked to him, because I stopped answering at that point. When I finally talked to him.
This story sounds like a fairy tale.
Yes, but let me finish. Let me
This story
finish because I'm
sounds
almost
fake, bro.
I'm telling you, right?
Wait,
It's
is this an
insane.
open mic? Like, can we all just jump in or no?